In this video, we're going to show how UK garage evolved from this into this. The story starts at London's Ministry of Sound. The club was inspired by US garage, which was pioneered at New York's Paradise Garage and championed by Ministry's American resident DJ, Tony Humphries. Ravers would spill out of Ministry at 9 a.m. looking for Sunday morning after parties. At these events, US house records were played fast in order to keep the weary dancers moving. Here's Mood to Swing's New York house anthem, I Need Your Love Right Now. Now hear how London DJs were playing the same song in the early 90s. Listen out for UK Garage's first MC, Creed, hosting the party. Matt Jamlin was the first producer to put this sped-up house sound to wax. The Jam Experience's Feel My Love, a record made in 1991 but not released till 1993, was the first UK garage record. By 1994, producers from London's rave scene began making this new sound. Grant Nelson, a former hardcore producer, was one of the first to deliver original UK garage anthems. In 1995, a new groove was introduced. The US producer Kelly G remixed R&B singer Tina Moore with spectacular results. His broken drum pattern provided a blueprint for the two-step sound that would define UK garage. In 1996, New York producer Armand van Helden remixed Sneaker Pimp's Spin Spin Sugar. He called his version Armand's Dark Garage Mix, and its warping bass line quickly became popular on the UK garage scene. UK acts like Rip Groove and 187 Lockdown were inspired by the style. A new subgenre was born, speed garage. In 1998, MC Creed, as part of the group To Click, captured the energy of a live UK garage event. MCs were put front and centre, something that would become central in the grime era. From 1999 to 2001, the UK charts were littered with poppy two-step garage from acts like Artful Dodger and Shanks and Bigfoot.
You're listening to the sounds of UKG.
Many influences informed this style. Jungle, house, and the stuttering hip-hop beats of producers like Timbaland. In 2000, UK garage reached its commercial peak. This era was symbolised by David Beckham, one of the world's most famous sportsmen, appearing behind the decks at top UK garage night Twice as Nice. But away from the limelight, a moodier sound was brewing. It's a London Thing by Scott Garcia, which was released in 1997, foreshadowed a darker two-step sound that was pioneered by Groove Chronicles, Zed Bias, and Jada Flex. The sound at UK garage raves also began to get darker, pushing the warped bass lines of speed garage further. Some two-step tracks from 2000 had a completely new energy. Horsepower Productions' Gorgon sound is an early example of this mutating style. Around the same time, the style of MCing changed on pirate radio. This was driven by younger MCs who couldn't get into flashy UK garage parties. Lyrics about champagne and raves were replaced with something new and edgier. Pay-as-you-go cartel, whose members included Wiley and Rinse FM founder Genius, were among the first to commit this new style to record. Meanwhile, So Solid Crew's Dilemma was arguably the earliest example of instrumental grime. A year later, So Solid hit #1 in the UK charts with 21 Seconds. In 2002, the floodgates opened for grime. Pulse X by Musical Mob and Eskimo by Wiley were among hundreds of grime records released. One of the best was Dizzy Rascal's first single, I Love You. Meanwhile, in South London, the first seeds of a new UK sound were being sown. The Croydon record shop Big Apple was an early focal point for this style.
Danny and I were making garage. We were making it all day long. Benny Hill came up to the studio. He was making techno stuff, and he came up and said, I want to make some of this garage. I was like, okay, cool. Because he was so into his reggae, the snare was on the wrong beat. And he said, what do you think of this? And I was like, you've got it wrong. That's not garage. Hatcher was like, that's fucking brilliant. I love it. Definitely that sound, the very, very early dubby sort of sound, was Benny Hill making garage wrong.
Artists associated with Big Apple, Hatcher, Artwork, Scream and Benga, would soon push this strange new sound way beyond the borders of Croydon. The sound that came to be known as dubstep evolved through key parties such as Forward and through Rinse FM shows from Code 9 and Hatcher. Check out Scream and Benga's 2003 track, The Judgment, to hear the shape this sound was taking. The same year Dizzy Rascal's album Boy in the Corner was released to critical acclaim, Wiley's What You Call It, released in 2004, summarised grime's dislocation with the garage scene that spawned it.
What you call it, garage? What you call it, garage? What you call it, urban? What you call it, urban? What you call it, two-step? What you call it, two-step? What you call it, tell us what you call it.
As grime received mainstream recognition, dubstep quietly found its own unique voice. It's a sound you can hear on Digital Mystic's Chamber from 2004, the first release on DMZ. By 2005, with records like Scream's Midnight Request Line, dubstep had found an international audience. It was a sound far away from the early 90s house tracks that were buried deep in its DNA.